Okay, a short video on what we mean by X and Y intercepts. All right, first of all, you need to understand a certain structure. All right, and the structure is real easy. What an X-intercept is, it just means your point is somewhere on the X-axis. So those are all examples of X-intercepts. For instance, this point right here would be 6, 0. This point would be 2, 0. This one would be -2, 0. That would be -8, 0. So what I want you to notice on that, of course, is basically when you have an x-intercept, y is 0. Okay, that's the idea. That's what an x-intercept is, right? By contrast, if you have a y-intercept, has a little bit different structure. So it goes like this. All right, I'll just put some dots on the y-axis, just anywhere I want to, even there. All right, so this one is the point 0, 6. This is the point 0, 3. This is the point 0, 0. And then that's the point 0, -3. So what I want you to notice on this then is what happens. X is always 0. Okay, so that's what we get is, in this case, when you have a y-intercept, x is always 0. See, if you remember that, or have a way to figure that out, then it'll help you to figure out x and y intercepts, all right? So what we do is, remember I said in a previous video, if your equation has two variables, anytime you have two variables, x and y, then you're going to have an x and y intercept. You're going to have one of each. If you only have one variable, then typically you only go through one axis. Okay, so here's basically what we do on this then. All right, we're going to take this equation, and to find the x-intercept, we're going to let y be 0. So we go 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 12. We solve that equation. Of course, that would be 3x plus 0 equals 12. You can do that step in your head. So you get 3x equals 12. And then you can solve that equation easy enough by just dividing both sides by 3. Okay, so what you end up getting is you get x is equal to 4. Okay, so when you write an x-intercept, write it as a point. We found x to be 4 when y is 0. Okay, then what you can do is just go over and plot that point. So that is your x-intercept, that is on the x-axis. Okay. And then when you move on to finding a y-intercept, well, you let x be 0. So you take your equation, 3x plus 4y equals 12, but you let x be equal to 0, then you solve this equation. So that's 0 plus 4y equals 12. So that's 4y equals 12, and you get down to this point right here, then you can do this in your head. You don't necessarily have to show the step. So you would get y is equal to 3. Okay, so you just plot that point there, and there you have it. So what we would do then is we would just, take a line, connect those two dots through that line, and then you've got a good graph right there. So that's the graph of that line right there then. I was going to try to show you one other thing on there if I possibly can. It's kind of hard to do this on here though. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to take this point right here. It looks like that point is 8 and -3. So what I wanted to do is just show you kind of how you can check. So if you have the equation 3x plus 4y equals 12, well, if you plug 8 in for x, and if you plug -3 in for y, you would have 3 times 8 plus 4 times -3. That's 24 minus 12. That's equal to 12. So see, it checks out. So basically, any point on this line, and there's an infinite number of points, should check in that equation. So I always tell students that what a graph is it's a picture of all the solutions of that mathematical equation. It's a visual tool to help us visualize solutions. So the y-intercept we would write as the 0.03, okay, and then that's it. Okay, so what I'm going to let you do is go ahead and pause the video, and I'm just going to have you just do this one problem. Show the steps of how you find the x and y-intercept. Go over and plot, and then see if you can find another point that you can check. Okay, you may or may not be able to do that, but it's kind of helpful to pick another point on there and just see if it checks out. Okay, so go ahead and try that. Okay, so here's what I hope you would get. X-intercept is -4, 0. Y-intercept is 0, -2. This is the work you should have on the x-intercept. Again, let y be 0. So just replace y with 0, solve the equation. You get x equals -4. Y-intercept, let x be 0, like I did there. Solve for y, you get y equals -2. All right, and then the thing that you want to kind of get in your mind is if you have an x-intercept, y is 0. That's the structure. You're finding x when y is 0. The other thing to kind of look at as a y-intercept is that it works the opposite way. You're finding the y value when x is 0. Okay, like that. So I just plotted those 2 points like that. Now I'll tell you what I did. This is how I figured out the other 2 points. That's my x-intercept, that's my y-intercept. The slope on this, what you're doing is you're going down 2 and you're going right 4. So that's what I did is I went from this point, I went down 2, right 4. So I got to the point 4, -4. That's how I figured out that other point. Then I took the equation, plugged in 4 for x, -4 for y. -2 times 4 minus 4 times -4 is -8 plus 16. So it's 8. So that's why it's right. So the thing that'll kind of help you keep this straightened out, because like I say, students always forget. People forget unless you understand concepts. And the whole bottom line on this is an x-intercept is a point where y is 0. A y-intercept is a point where x is 0. Get that down, and it'll be a piece of cake. All right. Good luck.